Hello everyone! Welcome back to HLP Visa Consultancy. In today's vlog, pag-usapan natin what are the proof of financial capacity na pwede pong ipakita sa Philippine immigration. We know that one of the major reason kung bakit na-offload ang isang traveler because of the lack of financial capacity or missing documents in regard with this. So ano-ano ba yung type of financial capacity na pwede nyong ipakita sa immigration, yung tinatanggap ng immigration. Kasi some immigration officer, napaka-arte nila. They don't accept screenshot of GCash or they don't accept Xerox copy or photocopy of any bank certificate or statements. So here are the commonly accepted documents by the Philippine immigration as proof of your financial capacity. Number one is your bank documents. So these are your bank certificates and bank statements. So dapat up to date yung certificate and statement po ninyo. And when it comes to statement, dapat cover po yung last 6 months. And tip, iwasan po natin maglagay ng big deposit kasi nagiging questionable ito for the immigration kung saan galing yung pera, lalo na if you are unemployed and if you are a student. So karamihan dito na-offload because hindi nila ma-defend kung saan galing yung pera. Number two is your employment documents. So these are your certificate of employment or COE. So it must include your job title, your salary, kung magkano siya in a month, and length of service. And your approved leave of absence in original form, and your company ID. One time, I travel, na-employed ako, nagkataon, ito po yung tanong sa akin. So, hinanapan ako ng proof of my employment like certificate of employment and company ID. Kapag employed po kayo sa Pilipinas, lessen po ang chance na ma-offload kayo because you have the financial capacity na i-prove mo yon and meron kayong ties sa Pilipinas, so hindi kayo pag-iisipan ng immigration na baka maghanap ka ng trabaho sa ibang bansa kasi you have your employment already sa Pilipinas. The number 3 is sponsorship documents if someone else is paying for your trip. So ito na yung tinatawag na mga sponsored travel. So dito pumapasok yung affidavit of support and guarantee, a notarized letter from your sponsor declaring they will shoulder your expenses. So by the way, we have two types of affidavit of support and guarantee. One type is kapag yung affidavit of support ay galing sa ibang bansa and dapat authenticated siya and notarized by the Philippine Embassy or Consulate sa bansa na pupuntahan mo or kung saan naka-reside sa ibang bansa yung sponsor mo. And the other type of affidavit of support and guarantee is the local one. So kapag ang sponsor mo ay nasa Pilipinas and magkasama kayong babiyahe. So it's okay that the affidavit of support and guarantee notarized by any public or private lawyer sa Pilipinas and sponsors valid ID and passport copy, syempre to establish the identity of your sponsor. Sponsors proof of income such as their payslip, certificate of employment, or bank statement, lalong-lalo na po kapag ang inyong sponsor is local. So dapat si sponsor may mga dala siya nito to prove na talagang kaya kanyang sponsoran. So para sa mga may foreign sponsor, hindi to problema even though they don't bring this on the day of the trip kasi doon pa lang sa embassy sa Pilipinas, sa ibang bansa, so na-check na doon mismo ng embassy if may kakayahan ba si foreign sponsor or any family or relatives ninyo na sponsoran kayo. Proof of relationship. So these are the birth certificate, marriage certificate, or any communication record sa mga mag-boyfriend, mag-girlfriend, like a screenshot of messages or pictures together. Because affidavit of supported and guarantee is not enough, no? Kailangan pa rin natin mag-present ng mga supporting documents. Philippine immigration, isa sa pinakamaigpit na immigration sa buong mundo, I can say. So, napakarami nilang, may I see this? Do you have this? Did you bring this? Compared to other immigration in other country. So, affidavit of support and guarantee, ang mga kailangan po nito is commonly yung mga student, yung mga kakagraduate pa lang, yung mga housewife po, and those visiting relatives abroad. So, commonly sila yung talagang kailangan ng affidavit of support and guarantee. And pang-apat is for business owners or self-employed travelers. Ito yung may mga business. For example, so you need to bring your DTI or SEC registration if it is a corporation or any business registration papers. You also need to carry your mayor's permit or business permit as proof of legal operations and the income tax return of your business filed with the BIR to show the declared income and bank records. So, consistent deposit linked to your business if yung business po ay may sariling bank account. So, may nag-raise sa akin ng concern, self-employed siya. So, may-ari siya ng sari-sari store. So, na-offload siya kasi sabi niya sa immigration, self-employed siya with business pero ang dala-dala niya lang is DTI. So, DTI is not enough kasi ang DTI is just the registration of your business name. But to prove that the business is earning money or nag-operate siya, it doesn't show. So, hindi yan covered ng DTI. Number 5, other supporting documents. So, your travel health insurance required in some destinations and shows preparedness. So, yung travel health insurance kasi guys, it prepared you in case what happened to you sa bansa na pupuntahan mo, hindi ka masyadong magsasuffer financially. So, for example, kung ang dala mo lang talagang pera ay kasya lang for the whole vacation and bigla kang na-aksidente, bigla kang nagkasakit. So, how will you cover the hospitalization cost? Kaya, some immigration, they are looking for travel health insurance, lalo na kapag required din na bansa na pupuntahan. For example, yung mga papuntang Schengen area, yung mga papuntang Europe, so travel health insurance is mandatory. So, round trip ticket. So, paghandaan po ninyo ito, confirm intent to return to the Philippines. So, dapat nakabook na ito. Because if you don't book yet your flight ticket going back to the Philippines, tapos andala mo lang pera for pocket money or what shows to your bank account is 80,000 pesos, tapos wala kang return ticket, the immigration officer will say, lalo na kung istrikto and talagang mahilig sa mga computation, how can she afford to travel abroad if from 80,000 pesos she has in the bank, deducted dito yung cost ng flight papunta ng Pilipinas. So, the money is not enough. So, offloaded ka. And or yung hotel booking or accommodation proof na bayad na siya para hindi na magkwenta si immigration officer. So, may mga immigration officer, lalo na yung medyo may edad na, sila yung talagang istrikto kasi alam na nila yung mga kalakaran about this. So, nararamdaman na nila kung sino yung mga hindi genuine ang purpose of travel sa ibang bansa. For final reminders, immigration officer don't ask for all documents every time. So, hindi lahat na binanggit ko hinahanap ng immigration officer. It will depend sa officer na makakaharap po ninyo kung ano yung hahanapin. But it is always nice na laging ready. First-time travelers are those going to high-risk countries where many Filipinos overstay, so maybe ask for strict tour documentation. Yung mga first-timer tapos papunta pa sa mga bansa na hindi masyadong sikat when it comes to tourism or maraming record of overstaying Filipinos. Ayan, so dapat paghandaan nyo po ito. And that is for today's vlog. I hope nakatulong po. Kung may tanong pa kayo, comment your question below. Sasagutin ko yan or email me in this email address or follow my Facebook page.